Please confirm you can hear me. Confirm you can see me, please. I mean, any reaction will help.
Yes,
Okay.
we can see you and we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Simisola. My name is Oluwaseun Oshikomaiya. I'm a QA engineer. With over 5, 6 years, yeah. Looking back now, it looks like I've been here quite a while. And over the course of my career, I've been opportune to work in diverse establishments ranging from fintech, health tech, blockchain. Yeah, I think those are like the major places I've had to work. But I've done a lot of fintech recently. Maybe from the flyer you see, I currently work with one of the leading fintech companies in Africa. Global soon, but let's still take the shine on the African stage. And I trust you guys have been having like a swell time. You've been taking in a lot of what's it called sessions. You guys, many other speakers have come to speak about. I've also been fortunate to join in on some sessions. I just come in and see how things are going, and brisk in and then I brisk out. So I hope it has been worth your time so far. You can drop an emoji or a reaction in the chat just to know I'm speaking to actual people and not talking to myself. I hope this session has been good thus far. Thank you very much, Philip. I see the reaction. Soji, I see the reaction. I want to understand, or I want to believe that many of us here are maybe first timers, new joiners trying to come into the tech space. Some people are already existing QA engineers or other technical professionals in the industry. Some people, this is like your first time hearing what tech is, or you've heard a lot about tech. Tech is the oil, the new oil money. Tech is the new thing, is the in thing, and everybody wants to jump on it. I can't blame you. Wherever the pot of gold is, we are all going to go and look for it. It's just like wherever the chest of gold is, pirates, you will find pirates. All pirates are going to be headed down there. So I can't blame you. It's a cake. Everybody should have a piece of their own bite. But the grass is not always greener on the other side. If I can come in on that angle, there's a whole lot of things. Attributed to coming into the tech industry, coming into the tech space. There's a whole lot of many things. Over the course of these sessions, I will also be able to and shed some light to it. I also remember our convener, Mr. Olua Toby. I joined the first session and I saw all of the things he outlined. Sorry, I saw some of the things he outlined about coming into the industry, some of the challenges, what is expected, some of the tech skills you can pick up, professions in the tech space you can pick up. Even under the QA, what's the word? Under the QA umbrella, there's a whole lot of other types of QAs, if I can use that word. We have the QA engineers, mostly maybe around manual and automation test. We have the testers. Um, they mostly do a lot of manual tests. We also have the SDET. They do a lot of coding. They do a lot of, a whole lot of test framework architecture around tests and how tests should look on the automation side of things. So it is a very broad industry, and trust me, it's still growing. It is an ever growing industry itself. Tomorrow you are going to hear things like prompt engineers. That's what we are shifting into, especially with the emergence of AI. And AI has come to stay. It has come to make our work, our life easier. Many people say it has also come to steal or take our jobs. Let's see how we pans out. If there's anything humans have learned to do, is we've learned to adapt over time. Whoever thought at a point in our life in the existence of the world, maybe outside Noah's time when Noah was kept in the ark, we all had to be indoors. Almost 80% of the population will have to be indoors for a long period, and I'm talking about the COVID era. We all had to adjust. We all had to find a way to evolve, balance out things, and I'm somewhat grateful for that period because it bettered a lot of remote opportunities, remote jobs. I'm one of the beneficiaries of that. I mostly work remotely. I mostly work from home. So we humans know how to evolve. So I'm not one to believe or live with the fear that AI is coming to take our job. Yes, it will take some few jobs. Some people are even already being laid off overseas, because I mean, especially I think in some of these AI companies themselves. But it will also bring about the emergence of new products because now there's going to be lesser time in development. You can have your Claude AI. I'm very sure Ridwan did a very good job yesterday. Ridwan is a very good colleague of mine. He did a very good job yesterday about AI and testing, bringing AI into testing. With Claude, you can easily just give it a prompt to build certain things. I mean, give it all of the nitty gritties you want, and trust me, in 30 minutes, Claude will help you build a full web automation, web what's it called, web app or a mobile application. You you rarely even need any developer at this junction. It will help you build a website, a proper website without a developer. So that's where we are going to be shifting into. It would then lead to a lot of creation of new applications, new emerging technologies. Things are still going to spring up. People are going to be more entrepreneurs. People are going to be more CTOs, more founders itself. People will move from developing because AI is going to be doing the hard work, and people are just going to be brainstorming. What can we do? How can we do? So don't worry, let's not live with the fear that AI is coming to take our jobs. If it would take, it's just going to bet something else because we are humans. We have those survival skills. We know how to evolve over time and create nothing out of something. Yeah, thank you very much. I hope this is going to be as interactive as possible. I'm going to be asking a few questions, and I'll also be expecting you to ask me some of the questions you might be having. Yeah, as we proceed. All right, about now, I'm going to be moving into the slides. I mean, while we are here today, just confirm if you can see my screen. Just a moment, let me confirm. Kindly confirm, guys, that you can see my screen, what I'm projecting. Don't worry, I can get a vocal response just to know I'm talking to you and not.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
see.
Yes.
okay. Thank you very much. And why we are here today is why candidates get rejected and how to stand out. I think the team is the hiring manager's mindset. What do they look out for? And I want to believe I'm one of, I mean, maybe one of the few persons that I think I'm in a better space to talk about this. And why do I say so? I currently also sit in the interview sessions in the company I currently work for. So I see some of these things, and I've also been opportunity to sit in interview sessions for previous companies I've worked for. So over time, I've come to see how these things pan out. I've come to see the mistakes many interviewees make, some of the things they should do or not do, especially for the new joiners. I'm going to start with the backstory. I remember very vividly one of the first physical interview I went for. I mean, I was fresh off learning, picking up QA. I started off as a front end engineer. Over time, I mean, I left it for a while. I came back. It was almost impossible to pick because I'd left it for a long while. A friend just advised, why don't you try a QA? And that was like the first exposure to it. I picked it up. I mean, it looked interesting. It looked like something I would want to do. I kind of find myself in it. I tried. That was one of the lines I mean I used during interviews. You can also steal that. And I mean, I took all of the courses, I took all of the readings. I mean, I was studious with it. So, off the top of my head, I felt I was job ready at some point. I think maybe 6 months down the line, or 3, 4, 5 months down the line, I felt I was job ready. I mean, bring the job on. We're going to get it done. We're going to eat it. Bring the interviews. We're going to. And I remember vividly going for this physical interview. I did the first phase, the first yeah phase. I did that. It was a technical with one of the QA engineers in the company itself. She asked me a lot of questions. I mean, it was a good conversation. It was back and forth. I was able to respond. Off the top of my head, I'm like, man, this is very easy, It should be just to read and understand. And I thought that was all, only to be notified that I had another stage, which is to meet with the CTO and the CFO of the company itself. I'm like, okay, maybe this will just be cultural fit, and let me send me my offer letter already. There's no time to waste. Off the top of my head, I was feeling fly, only for me to get into the interview room with the CTO and the CFO. Then the CTO started asking me a series of questions. Ladies and gentlemen, have you had to walk like have you had to walk with your tails between your leg, like leaving the interview room? You know that no, I fumbled. He asked me a series of questions I thought, man, I should be able to ace, and this man floored me. He almost like schooled me in the act of QA. I knew that when leaving that place, leaving the office, I knew they were not going to call me back. There's nothing I want to do because the man actually he schooled me. I thought I'd gotten. I mean, off the top of my head, I thought I knew everything. I thought, oh, ask the questions, would respond. But one thing I ensured I took from that was whatever mistake I made, whatever questions was asked, I was asked. Going into another interview, you will not ask me that same question and I'll not be able to answer it. No. Any mistake I make, and I ensure, oh, I've learned my mistakes. Going back, I'm going to do better. So we all at some point would be in that shoe, we'll be in that position. We would need to. It's a skill. That's one thing I've learned over time. Is a skill you build. And how do you build it? How do you build a regular skill? Something you do over time. Once you, I keep telling professionals, especially professionals that have been in the industry, at least even if you are not looking out to leave your current role, maybe every quarter try and interview. It is very important. One of the reasons why you need to do this is to ensure you are still market what's the word? You are still market worthy. You still know your value in the market because one of the risk of staying in a particular position for long is your knowledge become obsolete. You tend not to maybe be in tune with what the current trend in your space itself. So I try as much as possible, at least every 6 months, every quarter. Currently not looking out for any new any position, any new company. I'm not trying to look for, but I ensure I interview because it's a skill. It's just like any skill you don't use. Over time, it becomes dormant. So I try to ensure I interview. I go into interviews. I mean, just for the fun of it, just to see, just to know, basically, am I still good? Am I still market worthy? And all of that. So it's a skill. It's an art. There's a whole lot that entails to it, and we are going to try and talk about it. We're going to try and decipher it and see how best we can become better at it. I have here why candidates get rejected and how to stand out. A hiring manager's perspective on what separates successful candidates from those who don't make the cut. This session will help you understand what hiring managers are really looking for, common mistakes candidates make, and practical ways to position yourself to stand out in today's QA job market. So, fasten your seatbelts as we proceed. So we ask the questions: what hiring managers actually look for? I mean, can it be a question? Can it be a question? What are hiring managers actually looking for? Um, Understanding the hiring management manager's mindset is crucial to landing your dream job. Hiring managers aren't just looking for qualifications; they are evaluating how you present yourself, communicate your values, and demonstrate your fit for both the role and company itself. So I'm going to start with qualification first. I think the beautiful part about tech is it was able to help us demystify the importance of certification. And when I mean certification, I'm talking about the BScs, I'm talking about the ONDs, the HNDs. In maybe in the 80s, in the 90s, there was a whole lot of emphasis on, oh, go to the university, get your BSc. I mean, once you get your BSc, there's a job waiting for you. I mean, the stories our mothers and our fathers told us, you even get a car, there's a car waiting for you after you're done studying. I mean, times were good then, things were beautiful, but tech has helped us to demystify that all of those BSs, the moment you are coming into the tech space, you are going to drop that. I mean, they will come into use. Let's not take that fact. Let's not take that away. But what tech rewards is your technical skills, what you can do. Oh, I can do this. Oh, yeah, take, get it done. It does not say, oh, I have studied this. Oh, I studied computer science, for example. I'm a graduate of computer science, BSc. no shades to the OND or the HNDs. I mean, like I said, all of them, they've almost lost their relevance. All of the things I learned in school, I mean, yeah, some of them I'm still using, but QA as a skill, QA as a role, I had to learn after I graduated from the university, and this is me letting somebody who is maybe a non-technical person understand that this is something you can learn, this is something you can pick up. It is not, oh, one special, oh, I did not, because I did not study computer science in the unit in my university, I will not be able to know. This is a skill, this is a role you can come into, you can learn the ropes and understand the nitty-gritties, you can understand everything, all of the things you need. So it is not obscure, it is not, oh, philosophy, like, oh, it is just for some selected few. As long as you can put your mind to it, irrespective of what you studied. I mean, I've seen people switch careers. I have a friend that studied English. She's a chartered accountant now. She did her whole 4 years BSc, graduated, came out, picked up ICANN, went for the ICANN school and all of that. She's a chartered accountant today. I know a lot of friends that studied maybe physics, that studied, I mean, I also have a friend that studied history and international relations. He's a data analyst today. He understands what Python is. He understands what um, Power BI is. He understands all of these things, what they do generally. So it's just born out of the fact that they put their mind to it and they were able to pick it up. So it is beyond qualifications. We are not just looking, oh, because you graduated with BSc, oh, you're an MSc holder, I will then now give you more respect or more, what's the word? I mean, respect still quantifies the word, than somebody who did not, but who still present themselves as a QA engineer. It's beyond your qualifications. Let us settle that. One of the things that's also very important is communication, your ability to communicate your values. Very, 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 very important. You must know how to talk. Oh. If there's anything you will pick out of this session, it is your ability to communicate. You need to go and learn it. I always tell people, irrespective of what you do, what you know, where you are in your career space, constantly be improving yourself. One of the things you do is read books outside your technical space, technical sphere. Read books, very, very important. Listen to podcasts. See, the difference in you getting a job, like the difference, what could hold you back from getting that job, even with your technical skills, with your technical know-how, could just be your communication skills. It is very, I've sat in so many interview sessions, and I can tell you for a fact, lack of communications has cost a whole lot of good people, like competent people. Another thing again is, you can even get the job maybe based off on your technical skills. You know how to do the job. But see, if you want to grow up the cadre, you want to grow up the ladder, especially the corporate ladder, you must learn how to communicate. One of the most important soft skill, if not the most important soft skill of a QA engineer, is your communication skills. Very, very, very important. We are talking about verbal, we are talking about written. I must be able to pick up your bug report and read and comprehend. I don't need to call you, oh, what do you mean, what did you write here? I should be able to pick up your bug report and see, okay, this is what it's trying to report. I understand the issue, I should be able to fix it. That is how important communication is. I cannot overemphasize the importance. If there's anything I'm going to beg you to take out of this, is communication. You must be able to communicate your value. There's a certain aura you must carry. There's a certain candor. You know your value. You know your worth. Even if you are a junior QA, even if you're an intern, even if you're just coming into the industry, there's a certain candor. There's a certain aura. I mean, I might not be where the seniors are, but Yorubas will say, "Migo onkere." I know my worth. I know the work I've been able to put into this thing to get me to where I am. You must be able to communicate your value. It is very important. I have had to hire people, or I've had to push people into the next stage off of the fact that they were able to communicate properly. I mean, they were not able to get all of the answers, maybe the technical questions, they were not able to get all of the answers during the interview sessions. But the fact that they were able to communicate, I mean, what they knew, they what they know, they knew it. They were able to communicate, they were able to talk properly, they were able to, I mean, articulate their ideas, articulate how they feel or what they think about certain things. That was what stood them out. So it is very important. As much as you eventually get the job, don't stop growing, don't stop learning. Read books. Very, very, very important. That is one way you can build up your vocabularies. Because one of the things that stands you out, especially in the tech space, one of the things that even stands you out, maybe as a senior person, is the ability to be able to handle jargons. And jargons are like the familiar words you're going to be using in the tech space. And you must be able to communicate with developers. You must be able to speak their language. Communicate with non-technical persons. Communicate with product managers. Communicate with end users. Communicate properly. Be able to tell them, okay, this is where the problem is. This is where this is what we're currently working on. This is the ETA estimated time, or we are going to be fixing this. You must be able to. If there's anything you're going to pick up from this session, communication is key. Ability to communicate your value is very, very, very important. Another thing is demonstrate your fit for both the role and company culture. Yeah, demonstrate your fit for the role. Sometimes you might not even meet maybe 5/10 of the criteria for that role, but you see those other five, you are able to demonstrate it. You show willingness to learn. I'm willing to learn. I'm a fast learner. That might just be the icing on the cake for you. That might just be that push. The hiring manager will just, okay, let's give this person a chance. He has a willingness. He has what's the word? He has a willingness to learn, or she has a willingness to learn. I mean, I think if this person comes aboard, she will be able to pick up. She'll be able to learn fast, and she'll be able to join. I mean, integrate into the team quickly. That might just be it. So your ability to be able to demonstrate your fit for the role, and company culture is also very important. You can't go into interview sessions and you are nonchalant. I almost, I almost, I almost cancelled an interviewee off of the fact that I joined the call and he was chewing gum. The only saving grace he had was he was good, technically good. I mean, at some point he stopped. Maybe he became conscious of it. But you can't come into an interview session. It was a virtual interview actually. You can't come into an interview session and you're chewing gum, or you are just your body language is just nonchalant. Like, oh, like, can we just get over done? Can we just get over with this session? No. And it is not just even body language. It is also in how you communicate. I can't ask you, oh, why do you want to leave where you are currently working, and you are bashing your employer, your current employer, or maybe your previous employer. I will almost not want to bring you on board, because I want to. I will also believe that if you eventually leave us and you go somewhere else and they ask you why did you leave, you are probably going to say the same thing, or even maybe say worse about us. So it is not just your body language; it's also what you say, how you are able to, from your response. I can almost tell if you are a team player or not. If there's so many I in your sentence, it almost shows maybe you are not a team player. So all of those things are very important. You need to know when to use the I. Oh, definitely, you need to be able to sell yourself. I built with the help of the team. You must be able to, but at some point, you must also know how to share the accolades across board, and not just take the glory alone. So it is very important. Body language, your response, it will tell. I mean, another thing again you can also do is, before you interview with any company, I mean, maybe before you go into any interview session, you must have also done your research. You must have done your homework. I sometimes they also advise. I mean, go look at the company culture. Some of them have these things on their personal page, on the company's website. You can take out time. I mean, some have candor, some have integrity, some have maybe patience, some have resilience. Once you have all of these things in between your conversations with the hiring manager, you know how to chip them in. You know how to portray some of these things they are looking for. That's why I'm saying it's a skill, it's an art. You necessarily don't need to say it verbally, but from your sentences, from the words you're using, from the vocabularies I can hear, oh, I can almost tell this person is a team player. Oh, this person has integrity. Oh, this person is resilient. You're able to maybe tell me a story about when you had a bug that resulted in you staying late into the night. I mean, not every time you need to stay up late. That's also maybe that's also a that can also be a toxic work place. But I mean, showing that, oh, irrespective of whatever, with a very short time given to us to test, we're able to, I mean, get this thing done. It will show, oh, this person is resilient. This person has a can-do spirit. Those are the things you would, I mean, having gone to the company's website, gotten familiar with some of their culture, you can actually put some of these things in your sentences, in your responses. Very, very important. I have here relevance. Does your experience directly address the position requirements? I mean, they can't say they are looking for a lead QA or maybe a lead engineering, head of engineering, and you are just a junior. Maybe you're 1 year or you're 2 years, and you want to come into such positions. It's almost impossible. So, relevance is very important. Are you fit for the role? Are you fit for the position? I mean, the requirement they have or they've put out there. How do you fit into it? What are the how many of these things do you have? And I always encourage people. Most times you don't need to you don't need to have all of this. You don't need to be fit for the role 100%. If you can tick at least 6 or 7 out of 10, please do well to apply. Very important. They might not hire you, but you will get the experience. You will get the interview experience. And I mean, luck might also be on your side, and you may eventually even get the job yourself. Very important, but very important factor, relevance. Does your experience directly address the position requirements? Initiative is also very important. Do you take ownership and drive project forward independently? And gone are the days where people are micromanaging you. Nobody micromanages anymore. I want to employ people. I want to employ people I know that once I bring on board, these people would take. They will carry the matter on their head. If there's any word like that, they will take it. I mean, ownership is very important. I need to know that I can give you a task and go to sleep, and come back at the allotted time, and you've done it. Very, very important. In some of your responses, you need to be able to sell yourself. Oh, I have an ownership mindset. I know how to undo tasks with less supervision. I, for one, I mean, maybe from day one, I don't like being micromanaged. I want to believe, even in the tech space, because we have a lot of moving parts. Most managers I've had to work with, personally, I don't know about any other persons, don't micromanage. They give you a task with their allotted time, get it done. I mean, if there's a problem, if you run into any difficulty, communicate, reach out, we fix, and then we move. But very, 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 very important. You must have an ownership mindset. Be able to drive projects independently. Very important. Collaboration, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes it must not the response must not be I, it must be we. Your collaboration is very important. Can you work effectively with diverse teams and stakeholders? For those that are just coming into the industry, let me just put it out there. You will meet people. You will meet the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you must learn how to interact with all of these people. You meet with stakeholders, especially when you work as a vendor, for me, a third-party vendor for certain people. I don't want to spoil the image of banks, but if you've had to work with banks as a third-party vendor, you will know what I'm saying. Banks are very good people, but there's a whole lot of politics. There's a whole lot of, I mean, good things. Let me be positive with bankers. So you will need to learn how to manage people, how to manage emotions. There will be hard bursts. I've jumped on calls where it almost feels like people want to beat themselves on the call. Like they want to, like I've been on calls like that. I've been on stand-ups like that. So you must learn how to collaborate, irrespective of who you are working with. I mean, you must. The essence of it is get the job done. Get the job done. How do you relate with people? How's your interpersonal relationship skills with people? Very, 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 very important. Victoria, please let me know when my time is close by, so I don't overshoot my time. The next bit is common rejections reasons. Here I have first generic applications using the same resume cover letter for every position shows lack of genuine interest and effort. This is something new joiners do very well. I am guilty, or I was guilty when I started off. It was one CV, I was just applying everywhere. It does not work like that. You will get little feedbacks from that, from such actions. We are in. I mean, AI has even made things way better compared to 5 years ago or 6 years ago. 6 years or 5 years ago, you needed to do it manually. You needed to start tailoring each application, each job resume to that particular job you're applying for. But now it is way better with AI. I mean, you can almost, I mean, with Claude, I know Claude even helps you regenerate your CV to fit that particular job description itself. It does all of that for you. So don't go about just sending, oh, I have one CV. This CV, we are still going to go to the aspect of CVs, what is supposed to be there, what is not supposed to be there. Very important too. You can't just have one generic CV and be sending it out, or one generic cover letter, same thing there. No. You must tailor your CV, your resume, your cover letter to the particular job you are applying for. If the company is a blockchain company, tailor your CV or your cover letter to blockchain. If the company is a fintech, ensure you tailor your CV, your resume, your cover letter to fintech. If it's an healthcare system or an healthcare company, if it is an AI company, tailor your cover letter, tailor your CV to, because some of these things are not, some of these resumes, some of these cover letters are not, they are not handled by humans most times. They are handled by bots. And what do these bots look out for? They look out for keywords. They are keywords. Maybe for example, you work in the fintech space now. It is looking for maybe load test. It's looking for finance. It's looking for API. It's looking for what's the word off the top of my head? I'm trying to look for generic words in the fintech space. I mean, it's looking for transfer, it's looking for throughput. Some of these things, these are like keywords the bot is going to be looking out for. If it doesn't find it in your CV, maybe you just created a generic CV. Oh, I'm just a QA engineer. Trust me, you are not going to be called. Nobody's going to reach out to you. So ensure you tailor your CV, your cover letter, your resume to the job you are applying for. It is very important. You can apply to 50 job applications and not get a call or not get a feedback to any. Once upon a time, you will even get a rejection letter or a rejection mail rather. Now companies don't even bother. I mean, I was still jokingly saying it to a friend of mine some months back. I think it was late last year. I was saying, man, the industry is pretty funny. At least when we are applying at some point, we usually get rejections. Now companies don't even bother to send you rejection. They don't have the time. Once the bot has scanned through your resume and they can't find the keyword, resume gone to the waste bin. No time to waste. So ensure you tailor your resume, you tailor your CV, your cover letter to the job you are applying for. Secondly, we have overstated qualifications. People can lie. Let me say that out. People can lie on their CV. I've interviewed people that before they came into the interview, I went through their CV. Me that was going to interview them, I was afraid that this person I want to interview is my senior, is my is my boss. This person is my oga. Only for the person to come on board or to come into the interview room, and I'm asking the person basic questions, and the person is struggling with it. So you are going to be tempted. Trust me. I know the temptation that comes with it, especially for new joiners, to overstate your qualifications. I mean, know your onions. Be proud about it. Know what you know, and be able to defend it. But don't go and overstate what you don't have. Some of you, as new joiners, already know Selenium. You know Playwright. You know Cypress. You know Appium in 2 years or in 3 years. Even some of us that are already 5 years or 6 years, some of these things we just know them maybe peripheral on the surface level, because you don't know who you are going to meet during the interview. Some people might ask you questions around there, and and sometimes we even start with the basics. If you are struggling with the basics, I can almost tell that no, this person don't blow line inside the CV. Let's not stress ourselves. So don't overstate your qualification. You know what you know. Be ready to defend it. Put it there. I mean, if you've been able to learn Cypress, in like you can pick up Cypress and learn it in maybe 3 months. You can. It's very possible. You can do that. Add it to your CV, but don't go and put what you don't know in your CV. That might just be your what's the word? That might just be your pitfall. So let's be wary. Let's be careful what we put into our resumes, into our job applications. Very, very important. Don't overstate your qualifications. Poor communication. We are talking about spelling errors, unclear writing, or unprofessional email etiquettes. Raise concerns about attention to details. One of the soft skills of a Q engineer is attention to details. If your own job application, your own CV, has some bad grammar in it, bad sentences, if your own CV, if you cannot QA your own CV, you cannot carry out quality assurance on your CV. How am I going to trust my company's application on your hands? That's going to be almost impossible. So it is very sacrosanct that you take out time when you are applying. Take out your time, read, proofread. Sometimes you can even give a ChatGPT, put your sentences into ChatGPT, but ensure you also edit some of these things, because even some of us we that review applications, we can almost tell which is written with ChatGPT and which is not. So as much as possible, let it have an human feel to your writing. I've been in interviews with people and they are blowing some grammars, and I'm like, this person is using AI, because I know your basic jargons, your basic fintech or tech jargons. You are not familiar with these words. You are probably reading it from somewhere. So it is very important. Communication, like I've mentioned earlier, it is very, very, very important. If from your CVs we're already seeing spelling errors, your job application we're spelling is a red flag. Trust me, it is a red flag, because the bug you might be stopping from going into production might be a spelling bug. Trust me, so many times I've caught that. It might be a spelling bug. So if you cannot catch the spelling bug in your own CV, and no, I'm not sure I'll be ready to trust you to handle my own application itself. And lastly, here we have unrealistic expectations. Requesting compensations or title far beyond your experience level without justification. I like money. Everybody likes money. I know. I mean, why we are all here? I mean, we could all be at some place, maybe a beer parlor, a bar, or we could be sleeping. I mean, some of us are even on the road, or we are just back from work. We will want to rest, but all in the name of we are trying to upskill. We want to earn more. We want to live a better life. That's why we are all here. Yeah, so I believe in people asking for their money's worth. But you also need to make research. Do your research about what the market is currently paying for your level, for your experience level, for what you know, for what you can deliver. Know what the market is currently paying, but don't then go and overshoot your expectations. Don't say, oh, because you are a junior or maybe you are an associate level and you are asking for maybe, let's say, 5 million or 10 million naira. I mean, if the company is doing blood money, maybe they'll be able to pay you. Or if they are printing money, maybe they might be able to afford you. But if it's a proper company that has a budget, that has plans, and they have their financial plan for the year, they have budgets for each role. And I'm very sure they've also done their own market research to know that, okay, for this level or this year of experience, this is the budget, this is what we believe your money's worth. But trust me, there are some companies that would whine you. Some companies will want to play a fast one on you. That is where you need to then call them out. Not call them out necessarily, but that's when you need to then now ask for your money's worth. You can't say, oh, you are maybe a senior level, and the company is saying, We are sorry. What we currently can afford is maybe 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira. I might be tempted to ask, is it for Gary or is it for Ekpa? But I know I will not ask that. But at the back of my mind, I might want to ask them. So, but very important, know your money's worth. Don't overshoot. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Do your research. Ask around. Make friends that don't have a problem with sharing their income, because that's one of the problems you also have. I mean, especially as Nigerians, and I can't blame anybody that is not willing to share what they earn, because we know how the somebody called us Begistan, how people can beg, or Begistan, how people can beg off your salary. But share, meet friends, make friends with people that are willing to share what they earn, so that you also don't ask less, because you don't want to be in a position where you asked less and you got on board and you hear your colleagues, maybe people on the same level, are earning maybe close to times two of what you are earning. That is, if there's anything that's demotivating, there's nothing as demotivating as that. So ensure you ask questions, ask around, do your research. I mean, ask senior colleagues in the industry. I think those people can even tell you, okay, well, I was this is what I believe you should be earning. Very, very important. We're going to be moving to the next slide. So I have here standing out in the market. So standing out in a competitive market, breaking through the noise requires a strategic approach that showcases your unique value while demonstrating genuine enthusiasm for the role and organization. So basically, this is just telling us things you need to do before you go into some of these interviews. And I know I've mentioned some of them earlier before we got to this part. Research deeply, very important. Understand the company's challenges, culture, and recent news before applying. I've been in interviews where it started off as conversations. Oh, I also heard your company just recently received a new, maybe, what's the word? Received their new series their funding, just got a new funding, and you could spark up a conversation there. And your interviewer, I've had interviews where we spoke about Nigerian football team. It was a foreign interview, mind you, it was not a Nigerian interview. But I've had interviews where it was majorly around conversations, maybe around the company, and we did less of technical. But the ability to be able to hold a conversation was just my selling point. It was what just took me to the next stage. So do your research. I mean, LinkedIn. I want to believe after, I don't know anybody, but please confirm you can still see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, please
Thank you.
proceed.
I don't know any other person. I'm trying not to lose my chain of thought. I don't know what any other person use apart from WhatsApp. The next social media app I use is LinkedIn and Gmail. I don't know any other person. You see, first thing when I wake up in the morning is my mailbox. Is LinkedIn. These are places that will help my life. Yeah, Instagram will help. Maybe if I want to laugh, if I want to smile, TikTok will also help. But I don't know. Maybe I'm at the stage where it is LinkedIn, Gmail, maybe any other mail you use. That's what I do. So you have LinkedIn at the tip of your finger. Before you go into any interview, Google search the company, go to LinkedIn. Almost every company, I want to believe 90% of the companies we have existing today are on LinkedIn. Just search for the company's name on LinkedIn, read about them, understand their about. I mean, you can even, some people, I go as far as going to look for those that are going to my interviewers. And I've also noticed recently, because I've been sitting in a lot of interviews, I've been having people visit my my LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn will notify me if people view my, and when I check, I'll just smile. Is some of them are people I'm going to be interviewing. Maybe they've scheduled a call, and these are the people I'm going to be interviewing. I see them come view my profile. I do it too. I need to go and read up on or see who is going to be interviewing me so I can prepare beforehand. These are the things you need to do. Do your research, do your part, do your bit. research about the companies, their challenges, their culture from their post on LinkedIn or from their post on Instagram. You can tell if they are maybe a playful company. They don't take things too serious. Maybe it's a young company. For example, if you look at a piggy vest company, or maybe piggy vest Instagram or LinkedIn, you know it's a youth, a young. The demographic of people working there are around, they are young people. So if you are going into the interview, you know what to expect. You know how to prepare. Or if you are going into maybe a KPNG, for example, you're going to an interview with KPNG. You know these are serious people. All these ones, they take life very serious. So you can't go there and go and be throwing some bants and be making some, no. So do your research. Know the company's culture, their challenges, recent news. Just get all the arsenal, get all the weapons you need before going into any interview. Tailor everything. Very important. Customize your resume. I've mentioned that. These are the things we need to note. Very, very important. If you need to take a screenshot, take a screenshot. And I'm also going to make this slide available to us after this meeting. Tailor everything. Customize your resume. I've mentioned that earlier. Your cover letter, very important. Your LinkedIn profile. In this day and age, if you are a professional and you are not on LinkedIn, maybe you have what's the word? A trust fund somewhere where you have more money sitting for you. But if you are looking for money on this internet space, you must have a LinkedIn profile. It is very important. I can't count the number of opportunities I personally have gotten on LinkedIn. My current employer saw me on LinkedIn, reached out to me on LinkedIn. My previous employer before this reached out to me on LinkedIn. I love that. W LinkedIn in the chat. LinkedIn is the guy. So if you are here and you don't have a LinkedIn account, after this session, I'm begging you, go and open a LinkedIn account. It is very important. There are times when you apply, maybe when you apply to a job or maybe on a company's website, some hiring managers just go to your LinkedIn profile. I once had a contract job for a foreign company. The manager that was going to interview me had gone to check my LinkedIn profile. That's like the only place. That's like your blueprint in your professional world, your professional experience, what you can offer professionally. That's like your blueprint. That's like a footprint. It's just like, oh, your let me come into the social circle. You ladies do it a lot. Oh, you are in the circle of your female friends. I just met this guy. I think I like him. I think he likes me. I'm very sure the first thing your friend will ask is, can we see his picture? What is his LinkedIn account? I say LinkedIn, sorry. What's his IG? What's his Instagram account? That's where you guys will go to first. In time past, we'll say Facebook. Because you want to go and see his footprint. Oh, how does he look? Oh, he's a fine boy. Oh no, his nose is big. That's what we go to do. Ladies, thank you. I can see some of you give me thumbs up already. We do this a lot. Just go and confirm. And ladies are very good. They are very good investigators. And they will find you. Just give them the name. They will find you out. Wherever you are on this internet space, they know how to do their job. They are very good detectives. So in the professional space too, very important. Simsola said they are FBIs. These ones are even more than FBIs. In the professional setting or the professional circle, your footprint, your digital footprint is on LinkedIn. So ensure after this meeting, I'm very sure Mr. Toby had mentioned this in the first session too, about maybe creating a LinkedIn and also putting up a post on LinkedIn, tagging case tech and all of that. I'm very sure. For some of us joined this mentorship program late. For those that are new, those that are just joining us, please and please open up a LinkedIn account. Very important. Open up a LinkedIn profile. Have your picture, a well-lit picture, a good picture. Picture that people will see and want to reach out to you. Not picture that is like, this one is begging for something. I'm not sure if I employ this one. I think I might need to solve this person's word problem. A picture that is smiling, that shows that, put your best foot forward. Very, very important. Be able to articulate your experiences, places you've done, achievements. And for some people, you can even reach out to certain maybe former colleagues you've worked with to give you appraisals. on your LinkedIn account. I've had people reach out to me. I've done a few. Reach out. I mean, when people visit your profile, these are some of the things they will see. A professional picture. Thank you very much. An headshot. Something that tells. I mean, you can decide to be very professional, have your tie, have your suit on, and all of that. I mean, it works for some people. Some of us are casual. I mean, I like to be very casual because I work in the tech space. But that does not mean I would then just. I mean, I think on my LinkedIn I still have a shirt on. I need to change that. It can be in a proper polo. I mean, just have a professional headshot that is able to then show people who you are. When people come on your LinkedIn profile, they should be able to see what you are able to sell, what you bring, what they should expect from you. Those are that's like your card. That's like a virtual card. You know, in time past, people used to hold. I mean, people still do. They have business cards, but in today's world, in today's digital world, one of your business cards is your LinkedIn profile. Very, very, very important. So please and please go to your LinkedIn, update, do all of the necessary updates you need to do. Connect with industry professionals. I mean, people that have been in the industry, connect with them. I've had people reach out to me via DMs, ask questions, and all of that. Don't be shy. If you are looking for money in this Lagos, you can't be shy about it. You would need to ask. Some people will tell you no, some people will not respond. That is not the end of the world. I have got so many no's. If there's anything I do, if there's one word I live by, I would rather die knowing I tried than die knowing I did not. I could have tried. I would die in peace knowing that, oh, you told me no, and that will not be the end of it. I will go to another person. So don't be afraid to reach out. If you see any professional you think can help you out, I mean, reach out, but ensure you keep your message concise. Hi, my name is this, blah 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 blah. Can you be straight up? Don't just come into anybody's DM you don't know personally and just put hi. Your hi might just be hi there for maybe another 5 years or 6 years or 7 months. Be professional about it. Hi, my name is this. State your reason. Keep it short and concise. And if the person is kind enough, they will respond. But don't just sit back and expect that a miracle will happen. No, it doesn't happen like that. So take out time, customize your resume, cover letter, your LinkedIn profile. Very, very important. Highlight achievements, quantify results, and demonstrate impact rather than listing responsibilities. I mean, some of us are very guilty, especially the new joiners. We just have bullet points all over our CVs. I did this, I did that, I did that. No, we need to quantify your results. Oh, I was able to develop certain number of test cases that was able to then maybe resolve certain bugs, or I was able to automate certain number of test cases that resulted in the reduction of maybe 20% of production bugs. That is you quantifying it. You can't just rather than just listen, oh, I automated the system. I automated the system is generic. It doesn't tell me what you were able to achieve or the result you got with automating the system. So it is very important you quantify your results. Build connections, like I mentioned earlier. Network with current employees and engage with company content on social media. There are times when you getting the job might just be going into somebody's DM in that company on LinkedIn. There are times my friend does this very well and it has worked for him so many times. The moment he applies for a job, he goes to look for the HR person of the company or maybe one of the talent acquisition person of the company on LinkedIn. He will cold message the person or cold email the person. 8 out of 10 times he has gotten a response. That person will in most times will just prioritize his application. Oh, what is your name? Okay, no problem. We'll get back to you. In most 8 out of 10 times, it has worked for him. So there are times when connection is very important. If you see you apply to the most you get is a no. Or the most you get is, oh, not to worry, we'll reach out to you. Or you would hear, don't worry, as long as you applied, we'll reach out to you. That's the most you will get. Or they will not respond. That's the most you will get. And the world will not end. You will still go to bed, you will still eat. Hunger will still hold you. You will eat and you will sleep. Life will not come to an end. Life, fortune favors the bold in this world, in this current tech space, in this fortune favors the bold. You can put that in the chat. Word on the marble. It's just so many people have gotten their breakthrough job via just code emailing maybe the CEO, or code emailing the talent acquisition person handling the recruitment on LinkedIn, or maybe via their mail. The most you get is a no, and you move on. But imagine if it works in your favor. As much as you think about the negative, also think about the positive and the impact it can bring to you. So, very important, build your network, connect with people. I mean, connect especially with mentors, you've people that have had to come and speak to us. I want to believe you should be following almost all of them on LinkedIn, which is very, very important. Some of them might not be active, but there are a few people that still drop gems on LinkedIn from time to time. That's another way you can reach out or reach out to some of them. I mean, you could just reach out, oh, from Case Tech mentorship program. Definitely, I'm going to remember because I know where we are all coming from. So, I mean, build connections. Very, very important. Then we move into what hiring managers want to see. Specific elements that catch hiring managers' attentions and demonstrate you are the right fit for their team. Relevant certifications, very important. Also, not very important. When I mean very important, for example, now I mean in the QA space, we know there's ISTQB. There are certain certifications that shows that okay, and to a very large extent, this person understands. I want to believe in most cases the theoretical part of the job, because on the long run, getting on the job itself is not theory; it's practical. You are going to have to do the job itself. So, as much as what's the word? As much as you know it, head knowledge, you know what regression testing is, you know what manual testing is, you know what non-functional testing is, smoke testing is. You can define it. You understand. I want to know. I want to be sure you can apply it. You know when to apply it when the need arises on the job. So certification is good. It shows oh you've taken out your time to study. You've taken out your time to. So, but beyond certification, the practicality is also very, very important. You can't take that bit away. Portfolio or work samples. If you, not if, I want to believe at some point, every one of you should have a GitHub account. Yes, you heard me right. Everyone at some point here must have a GitHub account. If you want to become a proper full-fledged QA engineer, then you're going to be writing automation scripts because the world is going to move past. I mean, it's not going to phase out manual testers, but there's more demand for the complete, the onus, the manual, and the automation. So if you want to be in the complete, at some point you must have a GitHub account, and that is one of the places where you can have your work samples or automation scripts you've worked on. Those are the places where you're going to be pushing your maybe your repository, the test scripts you've worked on. Those are the places you're going to be moving them to. So it is very important you have. That's like our own portfolios, just like engineers, developers have theirs. That's like the evidence of your capabilities. I mean, also documenting projects you've worked on, maybe on your CV or maybe on your cover letters. Oh, I worked on maybe building the first digital mobile banking created by an African company, blah blah blah. I was part of the QA. I mean, be able to document your achievements, your capabilities, case studies, creative work you've produced. I mean, if you're a blog writer, for example, maybe a QA blog writer, have that too. That's a selling point for you too. Company knowledge, understanding of their mission, values, recent achievements, and how you can contribute to their goals. Very, very important. Nobody's going to hire you based off on vibes. No, nobody has that time. Can you solve my problem? And solving my problem comes first with you knowing my problem, you understanding my problem, you knowing what I need as a company, what I need done, what I need to, the issue I'm battling with. So it is very important you understand the company knowledge. Like I've mentioned, utilize LinkedIn, utilize Google. Google search the company, read about them, go to the company's website, read about them. From blog posts, from certain things, you can almost tell, okay, I think these are peculiar issues certain companies like this have. For example, fintechs now, some of their problems are maybe slow, what's it called, transaction time are slow, or you have maybe failure in transaction rates. Those are some of their peculiar problems. So you must know how to be able to then contribute to trying to help them solve that. As a QA, what is your own input? What are the solutions you are going to be preferring? So those are the things you need to be familiar with. You need to have weaponized yourself with going into any interviews. Another thing again is strategic thinking, ability to connect your skills to business outcomes and demonstrate how you will solve their problem. I've mentioned this. You've made your research, you've done your research. Oh, for companies like this, these are their peculiar problems. As a QA engineer, if I'm to come on board, these are some of the things I will be ensuring. These are some of the things I will be doing. Having understood that this is what your current challenges are, or current challenge is, you must be able to articulate. You must be able to communicate. It's very, very important. Strategic thinking. To the next slide. Preparing for the interview. First impression matter tremendously. Your presentation and professionalism during the interview process can make or break your candidacy. Very, very, very important. I beg of you, you can't go into certain interviews asking for your money's worth. And I'm looking around your environment, and it's not, I mean, for example, now, let's say you are going into an interview with maybe an international company, for example, because I like to think global. I think beyond Africa, I think beyond Nigeria. I like to think global. I can't go into an international interview, maybe an international company, and I don't have maybe a backup supply. I've had so many interviews where I've been asked, do you have a backup power supply? God will help us in Africa. We will get there. I can't count the number of interviews I've had to, maybe with foreign companies, organizations. They've asked me, do you have a backup power supply, or do you have a backup internet? It happens. So if you are going into such interviews, if you need to go to a well-lit environment, a proper workspace, please do. Ensure your background is proper, there's enough lighting on your face. All of these things matter. The little details, they matter. You can't go into such interviews and you're asking for millions of naira. Yes, it's possible. And I'm looking at your environment and I don't see you are worth the amount you are asking for. It's just like going for a contract job as a contractor. Maybe you are going for let's say maybe a 500 million or maybe a billion naira contract. You want to go and bid for a billion, and you are going with Uber or you are going with Danfo. You enter bus. You now get there, you are sweating. Your shirt is already sweaty. You are sweaty and all of that. Nobody will give you the job. Whether you like it or not, humans will judge you first by your appearance. It's God. Only God. And I repeat, it's only God that looks at the heart first, the inward appearance first. Humans will judge you first based off your physical appearance. I can tell you that for a fact, for free. We've had people come into interviews and I'm looking around, I'm looking at their background, and I'm already even demoralized. I don't know what to ask you. I don't want to use any bad words. I mean, people at different stages of their life. But you look at certain people's background and you can sense struggle in their background. You can sense looking and you're like, there's a whole lot happening here. So you are demotivated to ask certain questions from them. So it is very important the way you project, if you have to be in a workspace, Bamidele, if you need to go to a workspace, a proper workspace for that interview, there is no sacrifice too big for that. There is no sacrifice too big for that. So ensure you are in a well-lit environment. Test your internet connection. Have a backup. Very, very important. I mean, go to a place where you know that NEPA will not be the weapon fashioned against you. Very important. All of these things, they really, really do matter a lot. I have research and preparation. Study the role, company, industry thoroughly. Prepare thoughtful questions. Very important too. Another place you can show your competence is that opportunity when they ask you, do you have any question for us? If you go and tell them no, I mean, you can tell them you don't have when you know that you are not going to get the job based off on the responses you have given during the interview. It's safe to. There's nothing as annoying as for an interviewer knowing that this person knows that you can't get the job and now give you the opportunity out of courtesy. Do you have a question for me? You are not. It's almost like you are now interviewing me. It's just a waste of time. But if you know your stuff, if you know your onions, the moment they ask you, do you have a question for us? That's another place for you to sell yourself. That's where you need to then ask thoughtful questions. Okay, what are the current challenges the QA as a group or as a department is currently facing? That's a thoughtful question. That's somebody who's willing to come and have an impact. I'm going to give you this question for free, though don't abuse it. One of the most thoughtful questions I personally ask is, oh, if I'm to come on board, let's say 6 months down the line, what would you see and say you've hired the right person? What are the qualities you are going to see or you would have seen in me or in the person you're going to hire and say, okay, I think we've hired the right person? That is one of the questions I ask. That is a thoughtful question. That is somebody who wants to know what is expected of the person before they come on board. Before you know, the person starts saying, oh, we expect this, we expect that, we expect this, we expect that. You sold yourself already. Very, very important. That's like a thoughtful question. I saw a question in the chat. Somebody asked, when am I going to resume? But they always, when should I resume? And okay, no problem. HR will get back to you. That's what you get most times. So ask questions. Very, very thoughtful questions. What are the current challenges of the company? How are we looking to? I mean, questions that would birth curiosity from who the interviewer is and be willing to respond. Because if there's something you need to understand, people in authorities, they like to hear themselves speak. They like the sound of their voice. So you always ensure you give them opportunity to talk, to explain, to sell themselves. So that's why you need to ask thoughtful questions. I'm going to repeat the question again. It is not a question, it's a sentence and a question. And this is it. Let's say I'm to come on board, if I'm to get the job 6 months down the line, what would you see or say? What are the things you're going to see or expect and say, oh, I think we've hired the right person for the job? I hope you got that, Shay. Let's say I come on board 6 months down the line. What are the things you're going to see or what do you expect? And oh, I think we hired the right person for the job. What are those things expected? Before you know, the person will start saying, oh, I will expect this. I expect the person should have helped us maybe automate this. I expect the person should have. They just start giving you responses. They start talking. I'm going to say it again, based off on experience. People in higher authorities, they like the sound of their own voice. They like to hear themselves talk. So give them that opportunity during the interview. Ask those thoughtful questions. Ensure you ask questions, but also read the room. Know when it is going way overboard. Know when they want to respond and not. Body language is also very important. You need to learn people's body language. You need to know, oh, I can make certain bands here, and I think everybody's all serious. I need to be all serious. You need to learn to read the room. Learn to read people's mood, especially your interviewer's mood. Very, very important. If the person is very friendly, I mean, I've sat in interviews with people. I'm not going to spoil their reputes, but there's a particular country. Let me use name and cover them. I think they start with I, and they end with A. I think they are Indians. I mean, I've met with very good Indians, very friendly ones, and I've also met with the very strict ones. I've been in an interview where the interviewer just came on board. Hi, how you doing? He didn't even ask how are you doing. Oh, hi, introduce yourself. After that, the person just went to what is regression testing? What is smoke testing? What that the guy just went straight. He was not even, oh, hi, how are you doing? How was your day? How, nah, he no get time. No joy at all. He no get time. The guy just went straight. So for such kind of person, you can't go and be making bants or jokes with such person. You are just going to score yourself zero. But you come in and somebody's, oh, hi, how you doing? And another thing again, also be mindful of the interviewer. If I'm asking you how are you doing, you can also ask me in return, how am I also doing? Don't be afraid of your interviewer. That's another thing I've also noticed. I've gone into interviews where I'm trying to be as friendly as possible with the person, and the person is uptight. The moment I see you're uptight, I also become uptight with you. We all of us will just become serious together, and you don't want to be in the serious phase. So if somebody is asking you how you doing or how's your day been, I think it is just kind enough or courtesy demands that you also ask in return. Oh, how are you also doing, and how's work also been for you today? It could also just be the opportunities for the person to, oh, it's been stressful, and you guys can just have a 5 minute conversation around that before you then go into all of both of you are settled. You've been able to build a certain rapport into the interview itself. But like I mentioned, read the room. If the person is an uptight person, all serious, please be serious. But if the person comes off friendly, and I mean, also don't overdo it. Very important. You must be able to read body language. It is very, very important. Professional presentation, dress appropriately. If it's going to be a physical interview, please dress appropriately. Arrive early and demonstrate confidence, respectful demeanor. Very important. If it, I know a lot of interviews today are done virtually, but I also still know companies that run physical interviews. If you're going for any physical interview, dress properly. Very important. Like I mentioned, it's only God that sees the inward first. Humans, they will see the outward. They will judge you first based off on your appearance, based off on how you look. It is very important. So please dress appropriately. If you don't know, their dress mode or how their dress setting in any company, I think it's just safe to have like a shirt and a trouser tucking in, and maybe a proper shoe, just to be on the safe side. If you now get there and you see they are very casual, it's still safe. You still fit in into such place rather than going into it because it's a tech space. You just wear round neck jean and it might just backfire. So if you don't know, it's safe to just be on a semi-formal where you are maybe a shirt tucked in with your trousers, or maybe a skirt, a gown. I mean something just formal. It saves you the stress itself. Storytelling skills. I cannot overemphasize the importance of storytelling. Hey, this is what will get you the job. This can be what will make you lose the job. You must be a good storyteller. That's why I told you it's an act, it's a skill. They will ask you scenario based questions on the spot. You must be able to cook up a story in your head. Don't cook up, oh, but there are times when you have to cook up story. You must be a very good storyteller. You must be able to tell how this happened, and I mean the person can actively listen to you, get the message, you have a beginning, you have a middle, then you have an ending. You must be able to tell stories. Oh, I remember when I had to handle a bug, a bug that was reoccurring on production. These were the things I did, these were the lessons I learned, and these were the improvements. You must be able to tell all of those things in details. Very, very important. Your storytelling skills, you cannot overemphasize the importance of that. I have here, use the STAR method to articulate your experiences and demonstrate problem solving abilities. I know some of you might ask, what is the STAR method? So the STAR stands for one, situation, task, actions, and result. The STAR method is a structured approach to answering behavioral interview questions. By focusing on specific examples from your past experience, it helps you provide comprehensive, compelling answers. First thing first. Oh, maybe I ask you why QA, for example. That's one of the questions I like to ask interviewees. Why QA? Why did you decide to become a QA engineer? There are other things. Why did you decide? You must be able to tell me a story. You must be able to cook up a. I don't like to teach people to lie, but you must be able to tell a story. It is very important. Your storytelling skills. You can't overemphasize. We can't overemphasize it. You must be able to. Oh, having graduated from the university, some of the things. I mean, I dabbled into a few things here and there, but I mean, I just knew that it was not what I wanted to do. I had a few friends who were already in the tech industry, in the tech space. I asked a few questions from them as to what I could learn. A friend advised me why don't you pick up or look into quality assurance? I mean, it piqued my interest. I was curious as to what quality assurance was. I went about doing my own research. I went online. I took up a few courses, and I think I just saw it was something I felt familiar, something I felt attached to, because I pride myself as one who who gives attention to details, and I also pride myself as a very good communicator. And I mean, things just have to work properly. I like to ensure things are done properly. So upon going through all of those materials, upon going through all of those courses, it just felt being a natural for me becoming a quality assurance engineer, and that was the beginning of the journey for me. That's story. That's story. That's you telling your journey. That's you explaining how you got into quality assurance. So those are the things you need to familiarize yourself with. You must be able to tell. You can't just tell me, oh, everybody's doing QA. I just decided to also try it. I mean, they will accept it, but if you're a very good storyteller, that it's a plus for you. It's a plus for you because there are certain interviews you go to. Interviews I conduct or we conduct most times, we no longer ask you what is non-functional testing, what is smoke testing. We don't ask. Most of the questions we ask are behavioral questions. We'll paint or scenario-based questions. We'll paint a scenario for you. Oh, if this happens like this, in under these circumstances, what would you do? Or how would you handle this? It is now left for you to now be able to then explain. It's still storytelling. Or if you have experienced this, what have you experienced this? How were you able to resolve this? You must be able to tell your story. You must be able to tell in details. Like I mentioned, the STAR method, situation, describe the context or background of the story, set the scene for the interview. Oh, this was what happened. This was what, and then we'll now talk about the task, the challenge itself. Explain the challenge, explain the problem or goal you faced. What was your responsibility or objective? Oh, we had to carry out what's the word? We had to carry out some root cause analysis on this particular issue. You explain what the challenge is, you explain what the problem is. Do you understand me? Then we then move into the action. This is all in your explanation, all in your storytelling. Detail the specific steps you took to address the task. Focus then at that point, then you are now focusing on your I and your direct contributions. In between, yes, there's a place of we, there's a place of the team. But at that point, you are already telling your story, you're already telling the impact you personally put into trying to resolve the issue. And the tail end is the results. Share this positive outcome of your actions. Quantify the impact or learning whenever possible. If you can learn this method, situation, task, action, and results, you are one step ahead already. I have an example here. Applying STAR, maybe a QA example. Situation, during the final testing phase of our new checkout flow, I discovered a critical bug where discount codes were not applying correctly to certain product combination. My responsibility was to identify the exact conditions under which the bug occurred and provide detailed steps for reproduction to the development team ensuring it was fixed before launch. The action: I systematically tested various product combination and discount types, documenting each scenario. I then created a comprehensive bug report with screenshots, video recordings, and precise reproduction steps, including database entries for affected discount codes. I collaborated closely with the developer to explain the edge cases and validate their proposed fix. Results: the bug was resolved within 24 hours. My detailed report reduced the developer's investigation time by 50%, preventing potential revenue loss of approximately $10,000 per day after launch and ensuring a smooth customer experience. If you can give me this story in this format, I will employ you. I'll just tell you, don't worry, I'll be sending you the offer letter tomorrow, or you get the offer letter today. That is a concise, what's the word? Explanation. A very concise explanation. It talks about the situation, talks about the task, talks about the action, and it also talks about the results. It is very, very important. Another thing we do, yeah, I encourage it, but I also don't fully encourage it. Following up effectively. The post-interview follow-up is often overlooked, but can significantly influence hiring decisions. A thoughtful thank you note demonstrates professionalism and continued interest. Please only do this when you know you have a chance at getting the job. I'm going to say this again. Please do only do this when you know you have a chance at getting the job itself. Because once you know you've messed up during the interview, there's no reason why you should reach out, do a follow up to the interviewer. Yes, there's no need. But there are times when you need to send within 24 hours, express appreciation for their time and reiterate your interest in the position. Reference specifics, mention something memorable from the conversation to show genuine engagement. 3. Add value, include an additional insight or resource that addresses a topic discussed during the interview. And 4, we have express enthusiasm, very important. Reaffirm why you are excited about the opportunity and how you can contribute to their success. So when I encourage this particular message is maybe after a week you don't get a feedback from the interviewer, you can then reach out. The moment they say maybe it mentioned the HR will get back to you or the talent acquisition team will get back to you as regard the next step, and it has gone past maybe a week or 2 weeks, yeah, you can then do a follow-up mail or a follow-up message, maybe using this format. That is when I encourage the follow-up method itself. So we are coming towards the end of today's session. Key takeaways: quality over quantity. One tailored, thoughtful application beats 10 generic ones every time. I mentioned it earlier. Please don't just use a generic application or generic resume to apply to every job you see online. Ensure you tailor your job application, or to the JD, the job description itself. It is very, very, very important. We can't overemphasize the need for that. A whole lot of people do that. Same job, same CV, you apply across board. No, there's less opportunities to that. So ensure you tailor it. Let the application be thoughtful. Very, very important. Research matters, like we mentioned earlier. Ensure you leverage on LinkedIn, you leverage on Google search the company, go to the company website. Understanding the company and role shows genuine interest and preparation. Very important. Professionalism counts. Every interaction from application to follow-up shapes their perception of you. Like I've mentioned, the little things matters, from the background, from your composure, your confidence, from how articulate you are, from your communication skills. All of these things matters. I can't overemphasize it. All of these things, they matter. The little details. Oh, is your place well lit? Is your face well lit? Can they see your face? Can they hear you? You don't want to be in an interview and your internet is messing up. or you have to keep constantly switching internet, it is not a good feedback. The feedback it gives is that if I am to employ you and we have an urgent meeting or maybe an emergency, is this how your internet connection is going to be acting up? Are you going to be constantly giving me, oh, I'm sorry, I could not join the meeting, my internet was. So those little things that you don't count, that might have felt, oh, it happens to everybody, it can just be the pitfall. So the little details, they matter. The little details, they matter. Your confidence, your communication, I can't overemphasize it. Your communication skill is very important. Your storytelling skills is very important. Constantly read books. Outside your tech space, read books, pick up books, read. That's one way you can build your communication skills. Watch podcasts. It is very important. Listen to podcasts. There are a lot of QA podcasts. Another thing I did was I watched a lot of QA interviews on YouTube. Indians, they've done a lot on it. From 1 year to 3 years, 3 years to 5 years, they have all of those interviews on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search it. QA interviews for interns. It is there. You will see how people answer questions. They were able to analyze questions, how people answered, how they could have answered better. All of these things are on the internet. They're on YouTube. I personally watched a ton before I started going into interviews, so I knew what I was what I was expecting, what I was going into. I mean, what you watch is also different from what you are going to experience, but to a very large extent, it prepared me to what I was going to go and experience itself. So do well, do your research, go on YouTube, watch a lot of videos around interviews, see how people respond to questions, see how they could have responded better. Pick all of these skills, and I mean, take it into whatever interview you are going into. Remember, hiring managers want to hire you. They are looking for reasons to say yes, not reason to say no. Position yourself as the solution to their problems. Demonstrate genuine enthusiasm for the opportunity and maintain professionalism throughout the process. It is very important. And what are the next steps? Ready to put these insights into action? Start refining your approach today. 1. Review your materials. Audit your resume. One of the things I do by the side is, I help people review their resume, especially for people in the tech space, new joiners, professionals. I do that on the side. I have people review their CVs. Very important. You need to review. Ensure what you have in your CV is relevant to the job description. You can't be applying for a QA position and your past 2 experience is a class teacher. No, nobody will call you. Or your past 2 experience is an attendant. It might sound harsh, it might sound insensitive. It's just the reality of the job market. And like I mentioned, there are times, most times, 80% of the time, your CVs are not reviewed by humans; they are reviewed by bots. If the bot sieves through your CV and it can't find those keywords, your CV is going to the waste bin. It's going into the bin. They are trashing your CV or your application. So ensure your CV or your resume carries relevance to the job. If you are coming on board, I can give you certain websites you can join as freelancers, as QA freelancers. You can just take that and add it to your resume. You are a freelancer on this particular website, because those websites you apply to become freelancers, you can just put there as a freelance. Don't go and put job class teacher or NYSC. Nobody will call you. Nobody will call you. So those are the things. That's why you need to ask. That's why they are mentors. That's why there's a mentorship program. Those are some of the advice you're going to get. Oh, on your CV, I would advise you to join this website. This website as a freelance. So put it to your CV. Put it on your CV. So it shows you're a QA engineer freelancing, because you're a freelancer there. Those are experiences that are relevant to whatever job you are applying for as a QA. You can't say, oh, I'm a class teacher and then I'm applying for the role as a QA engineer. How? Those are their words apart. So it is very important your job experience is relevant to what you are applying for. Very important. You can go online, Google search a proper, a standard QA resume. There are ways to these things. You see how it is tailor your resume to that format, to that structure. Maybe ATS certified QA resume. Keywords in, I mean, also then pass your QM, your resume into any AI or any chatbot to help you rewrite your CV or add keywords and all of that. That's how you can build it. Ensure you have a proper resume, a proper CV. It is very important. Audit your resume, your cover letters, audit it. Secondly, research target companies. Identify organizations you're interested in and learn everything you can about them. We've talked about LinkedIn, we've talked about reaching out to people, we've talked about, researching about the company. Practice your pitch. Rehearse your elevator pitch and star stories until they feel natural and authentic. Very important. I want to ensure the story you are telling me is not hula balu. Even if it is hula balu, tell me the hula balu and let me believe it. Let me believe the hula balu you are telling me. You must be confident. You must be able to sell it. It must come. It's a natural. It must be a natural. I can almost tell when it's a cooked up story, and I can almost tell when this person is actually telling me something that happened. But at the back of my mind, I know that this thing did not happen. But the person is selling it to me, and I'm ready. I'm willing to buy it willingly, even if I know it's fake. But I'm willing to buy it. So you must be able to tell your story. You must be able to convince people. And another thing again, you can leverage on. Somebody said code Zobo. Leverage on mentors. Leverage on senior colleagues, or even leverage on your fellow colleagues. People, make friends here. Make friends. Reach out to people. Create maybe an interview session. Let somebody be the interviewer. You be the interviewee. Ask questions. I did that a lot. 2 years, 3 years, I did that a lot of people coming into the industry. I did that a lot for people where, I had a lot of mock interviews for them. I do that on the side now, but I don't do that often because of work demands. But I do that on the side where I carry out mock interviews for people coming into the industry. We create a scenario, you join the call, just like your normal interview. I will ask you questions. At the end of the interview, the mock interview, then I will start making the corrections. Oh, you could have answered this properly, answered in this way. Do all of these things. Create all of these mock interview sessions for yourself or with friends. That's the only way you can improve yourself. If you've said something over time, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a natural. Some of you, I'm very sure till date, if they ask you to introduce yourself, you are still going to be reading it. If you are in an interview, I'm very sure a lot of people still read their introduction. You must be able to introduce yourself off the top of your head. Hi, my name is this. I'm a quality assurance engineer with over certain number of years of experience. Over the course of my experience, I've been opportune to work in diverse establishments ranging from fintech, ranging from blah 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 blah. I have a very good understanding of the software development lifecycle as well as the software testing lifecycle itself. Over the course of my career, I've been opportune to work mostly in the agile methodology or in the agile environment itself. I have a very good grasp of manual testing and also automation testing. I test using web applications using Playwright, Cypress, Selenium, blah blah blah. I test APIs using Postman. I also carry out load testing using JMeter K6. When not working, I like to watch movies, I like to read books, and sometimes I also like to sleep. Short. That's an introduction. You've been able to tell me who you are, what you do, things you've done, places you work, when you're not working. The non-serious part of you. I've been able to put that out too. That's like a concise introduction. So those are things you need to work on. Those are things you need to improve. Those are things you need to note down. For a start, if you need to write that down, write it down. Say it over and over. Let it become a part of you. And then when you're going into interviews, you've not crammed it, you've known it, it's now a part of you. You are able to articulate yourself. It's a natural already. You're able to sell yourself. These things are very, very important. Build your network. Connect with professionals in your field and engage with their content on LinkedIn. It is very, very important. Don't just be after what you can get, especially for interns, especially for people trying to come into the industry. Don't be after what you can get. Ask, how can you serve? How can I be of service? How can I be of help? It is in those volunteer systems, it is in those places where you've done things that seemingly look like free work. Those are the places you are going to get your first experience. Don't just always go after what you can get. Don't just always go after, oh, this is how, please, is this company looking out for this? No, no, no. I mean, there are good Samaritans that will help, but there are also people that are looking for how they can also be helped, so they can help you. So ensure once you connect, you are not just looking for what you can get. It's not a good first impression. Be of service. Always be of service. In return, then you will be serviced. That is one mantra I carry. I'm not always seeking for self first. I seek for, how can I be of help? How can I help? How can I help? When the need arise, when there are need for people, when there's a need, you would be part of the people that comes to mind first, because I have you around, because I know. I mean, I'm not going to be a user. I'm not going to, then now take advantage of you. But if the opportunity arises, it is those that are in my sphere, it's those that are useful to me, I'm going to give the opportunity to first. So don't always seek first. Don't seek self first. Seek how you can please, how you can help. And in return, in most cases, you will also receive help. I'm going to end with this quote, just going to sound like one very serious motivational speaker. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. Belief is very important. If there's one thing I hold, especially with the circle of friends I roll with, circle of friends I move with, nothing is impossible. Like I mentioned at the beginning, the most you will tell me is no, I will not die. The most you tell me is, he didn't die. Ah, no problem. I dust my shoes. I'm going to the next door. I'm going to go and knock the next door. It is a mindset. It's a, we died there. It's a, I went to this interview. They floored me. I still remember that interview like I'm watching a movie. The man and the woman were sitting opposite me. They wore a white shirt, both of them. Maybe it was their company shirt. This thing I'm talking is like 5 years ago. I still remember vividly. The man was on glasses. The man schooled me. I think the question, if I remember very well, was around maybe load test and stress test. That was it was asking me what is the difference, or what is load test and what is stress test. I was just, Yoruba would say, we big baggy. I was just putting everything together, and the man schooled me properly. Like he properly schooled me. I was coming off theoretical, off what I've read, but for somebody that has possibly worked with JMeter, that has done it real time, he understood better. He knew better. He schooled me properly. I left the interview with my tail between my legs. But after that day, you cannot ask me what load test is and what stress testing is, and I will not be able to. If you give me 30 minutes, if you are not careful, I will talk. I will talk for that 30 minutes. So that's the mindset we go. If you go into an interview and it didn't go the way you wanted, learn from it. Learn your mistakes. Oh, what could I have done better? Or what did I do wrong? How could I have answered better? That is the mindset you are going into it. Another thing again is self-improvement. Your growth is in your hand. As much as you are going to be attached to a mentor, your growth, you're getting your first job, it could be in a year. Getting your first job could be in 3 months. Getting your first job could be in 6 months. It is all in your hands. Beyond what you are taught, beyond what you've been taught, the learning is in your hands. Be hungry. Go on YouTube. Use your money to buy course on Udemy. Don't always wait for free stuff. Some course on Udemy is 4,000 naira, 5,000 naira. A proper full QA course, and that's part of what QA Case Tech is also offering. Even beyond, even after registering, you still need to go on YouTube. YouTube has a ton of materials, a ton of materials. Take out time, invest time. If it is 2 3 hours per day, I mean, I know some of us work already, so we might not have all of the luxury, we might not have the luxury of time. But if you are diligent, if you are disciplined about it, at least 2 3 hours or 4 hours per day as time permits, if you are consistent with that in the next 3 months, there's is going to be a massive difference. So I implore you guys, please and please, your next job, getting your next job, hitting the milestone you are seeking for or you are looking to get to, is all in your hands. Boils down to discipline. It boils down to how much you want this, how hungry you are. There's job, oh, I won't lie to you. There is job. Now you know just qualify. Now you know just get within the define. There is job. There is. I can tell you for a fact. I've not even of recent. I've been seeing a lot of QA openings, a lot of tech roles out there. There are jobs out there. Now you know just get within the define. So ensure you are hungry. I mean hungry literally. You are ready to. I mean whatever the material is, you are on it consistently. Consistently. You don't learn today and in another week you are picking it up. This is almost better you don't even learn at all. But if you have made up your mind to go through this journey, made up your mind to see to the end, I would implore you to put in the work. And I mean, like they say, the skies will be the starting point. Thank you very much, guys. That will be the end of my presentation for today. I think Shay, I said Shay, sorry, Shay popped up here. Victoria, I think you have the floor now. So I think this might just be the question session, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, thank you very much for your session. So if you have any questions now, you can drop them or unmute to ask. You can just raise up your hand if you have any questions.
So if you have questions, I mean, if you are confident enough, if you can ask using your mic, please do so. And if you can't, you can put them in the chat. I would be willing and yeah, I'll be willing to answer.
Okay.